And that's why video as an investment, sometimes companies and small businesses will come to you and they'll say, it's a little too much, we don't want to get into it yet. But the power of the content is so high, and the value we can't even describe in a lot of cases, depending on how you're making it. And that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Create lots of content, capitalize, and speed to market. If you put those three things into play, you got it made.
Everybody can look at video and judge right away whether it's decent content or not, and it gets the highest response rates.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're going to have those clients that are, what does my dollar work out to? And other people are like, fuck, look at all the eyeballs.
What's the with right now with marketing, because we debate this all the time with people, what is the number one thing that you say right now? You said video is important, but what do you see right now? Where's it trending? Like, podcasts are in right now, so sure, we set up a podcast, but at the end of the day, what do you see with that?
Video, we're Alberta.
Yeah.
84% of our marketplace is small business. If you don't get your ass in video online, you're dead. You're dead in the water. And maybe 60-80% of your content should be video related. It's easy. I can pull out my phone. I can talk to you. I can talk to him. I can talk to myself. Hey, this is what I'm going through today, whatever it is. And that alone, that level of engagement, that level of turn is going to very quickly get you a response. Podcasts, our boy Gary Vee put it succinctly about a year ago. It grew by 7 times.
Oh, I mean,
in 12 months. And audio is not going away. We still listen to music. We still download it. Podcasting is one of the fastest growing segments. Now, it's not anywhere near saturation. There's so much content.
Yeah.
What we've seen up until now with podcasting is such an abundance of big depth. Well, nobody downloads. I think that's where the podcasting marketplace is failing right now. Nobody buys or downloads a whole album anymore. For music, we don't.
Yeah, it's one at a time.
So don't make a podcast like an album. Don't record 47 minutes of podcast and put it out in one chunk. Put it out in 2 and 3 minute segments. Then people can digest whatever they want, much like we will any music, any song.
They can siphon through it, because as the search on as all the words go into search engines, and you can search for audio, then you can search for what you want, listen to your 3-minute clip, move on. Yeah, 30 minutes in a day is a long time.
That's a ton of time, and people don't have commutes like that anymore. I mean, you have to go to a really strange place to get really long commutes. Our marketplace, so you'll have 30 or 40 minute commutes, but you're going to spend the first 5 or 10 minutes frustrated getting out of your neighborhood, so you don't want to listen to anything intelligent anyway. You can't focus, or otherwise you're going to get in an accident. And then you're going to be on the 20 minutes of doldrum drive. You're not going to be able to get through an entire podcast as it is.
Yeah.
And then you have the 10 minutes of bull that's going to be you parking, which means frustration again. Your focus is very, very narrow. So you're going to listen to the 3 songs that make you happy in the morning, and really. So your podcast content has to be like that. And our video content has shrunk. The need for video content has grown massively, but the amount of video that we want to produce is really, really tiny. Micro content backed up with that macro. And so, I got this big thing. I wrote an article. Wonderful. Well, after you write an article, shoot a 30-second video explaining what the bloody article is. So you shoot a video.
Video's crazy. Like, we say this all the time. The reason video is taking off so much, in addition to the engagement rates, in addition to capturing emotions in human form, is the fact that you can use it for so much. It's so diverse. You shoot one 20-minute video. You take all the nuggets from that video, make 5 or 6 other videos, transcribe the entire video into a blog, and then take screenshots throughout the entire video to get content. You turn one video into 50 pieces of content just like that. And it's powerful, and that's why video as an investment, sometimes companies and small businesses will come to you and they'll say, it's a little too much, we don't want to get into it yet. But the power of the content is so high, and the value we can't even describe in a lot of cases, depending on how you're making it. And that's the thing, right? Yeah. Create lots of content, capitalize, and speed to market. If you put those 3 things into play, you got it made.
You hit it perfectly. And so for everybody out there in La La Land, how I got my start, I was the coach as a coach. Okay, I've got a coach, and I've had the same guy for 3 years. And Keith is an absolute badass. He's a complete beast. But he, for the last while, and I'm going to say because I'm doing good work, he's going, Mitch, I love the stuff you're churning out. Well, to me, it's the same stuff I've been doing for 3 years now, but I guess it's reaching enough threshold where people notice it all the time. So here's the Mitch Cammidge approved method for how to get it out there. And this goes, Jared, right to what you were saying. I shot a 5 to 10 minute video every week. Scrubbed the audio, created an article. Scrubbed out 15 and 30 second videos. Created a bunch of marketing boards, quick captions, static content pieces. And there was a month's worth of content. So I don't have time, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources.
That's not an excuse anymore.
Shoot a 5 minute video at your workplace. What is there interesting to show off of? I got a client that does fine stonework. They got marble and granite and all sorts of cool stuff. Shot a 2 minute video of just a giant robot saw cutting apart stone slabs, a couple months ago. And people are like, this is cool. It's a giant robot. Who doesn't want to watch a giant robot doing something? So that alone can do it. So shoot 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes of video, pull it apart, heck, send it to somebody on Fiverr, get them to transcribe all the audio, turn it into an article, get your video done, get your tiny little content pieces out of there, create a couple of really colorful pictures with some cool quotes, right? And there you go. Your marketing's in line, and it's got a coherent story. So if you're going to ask, what is the biggest trend? Coherent stories, reasons for talking, not just, I sell floors and you should buy a floor from me. No, hell no. It's like, I'm in this house and man, were there challenges. This was an old house. The floors were all over the place. We had to level the stuff out all the time. Tell me what it was like to go in and install that floor. Shoot the video. Snap some pictures. Say, man, this is a really troublesome spot. We pulled up the old floor and this 4 feet of floor was rotten as hell. We had to strip it all out. We had to put in new beams. We had to do all this other stuff. We had to bring in a contractor, an engineer, and wow. Tell me that story. I'm good with that. I'll probably buy a floor from you.
Elaborate on that a little bit more, because you're speaking my language now. And we haven't even started this thing yet. What do I say with Omid? Sound the sound. We'll get that sound going. Mitch Cammidge here today, business consultant in Edmonton. We are on a roll, so let's get this going. Elaborate on that more. So we always say, tell a story, engage emotion, solve a problem. Right? Those 3 things in your marketing have power. And those 3 things in your video have power. And you're talking about storytelling. So tell me more. I agree with you 100%. If you can tell a story, you're going to take your marketing from here to here. People are going to engage with it more. They're going to feel the emotion, and they're just going to take it from there. So tell me.
Storytelling, 2 tiny words that are an entire story in and of themselves. Most business owners are really good at telling you what they do. Okay. I do floors. I'm a business coach. I'm in marketing. I, install showers. I do any of these other things.
From their perspective, they know what they do, and they can tell you that.
Exactly. And so the extension to that is I can tell you really cool stuff about what I do. 87% of all businesses fail in the first 3 years. A steam enclosure for your shower will increase the value of your home by up to 20%, depending on what you do with the rest of the bathroom. Things like that. So do I invest 10 grand in my shower? Hell yeah, if you want to sell your house, right? So those things, so they tell you who they are and they tell you some interesting facts. A lot of marketing professionals tell you some interesting facts and get people to go, ooh. Not very many people at the end say ask, or a lot of marketing professionals are really good at saying this is what they do, and all of us as business owners aren't really good at getting you to go, ooh. We're really good at going, this is the cool stuff I do and I'm excited about it, right? Storytelling is a way to get that ooh and to get people to take action. But it's perfectly natural for us to do. If I do something that I'm good at, if I do something that I love, then storytelling is the only way to do it. And it's not to elaborately craft these things or whatever it is. It's to just stand there and say, this is what I went through today. This is what I'm experiencing right now. This is what it's like to work on this job. This is the fun that I have. Here's the tools that I use. Here's the people I work with. Here's me interacting with a client. Here's me having a conversation with a buddy right now just about business. This is what storytelling is. The moment I can say, I'm Mitch and I'm a business coach, and I'm hanging out with my buddy Jared, who's a marketing professional, and we're just talking about business. That is powerful because it allows those people, those guys are working too, those people to maybe get a sense of who I am. And love me or hate me, they know me a little better. And if they know me a little better, if I'm selfish, they might choose to do business with me. If I'm unselfish, then that gives them a great opportunity to understand what I really stand. You know what? I don't need that dude, but I saw this guy online and I don't know him for anything. But I feel like I know him, and you should talk to him because he might be able to help. And storytelling does that.
It gets it home, and if you're creating those touch points with as many people as possible, getting your brand out there and telling those stories, then people are going to remember. We call them subconscious touch points. So
Yeah.
as soon as they get that subconscious touch point, they remember you. Next time they see your ad, next time they see you in person, I know that guy. They walk across, they talk to you. You got your soft touch point right there, and you didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? You just had to make content. And I think that's the power of video. That's the power of storytelling.
That's why we buy. That's why we watch movies. That's why we watch TV. That's why we're all waiting. And time tells us that it's a week to go Game of Thrones. Tune in. Right?
Well, and then the other thing is, this is okay. So you touched on something there, movie theater.
Yeah.
Right. So Blockbuster crashes and burns, and everyone says the next thing is movie theater. They didn't, and I keep telling people it's because of the emotion and the storytelling that they engage.
Yeah.
Right? They solve a problem. We can go to the movie theater with friends and family, engage that emotion, have an experience that you just can't have at home. Cineplex and movie theaters aren't going away.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens when VR comes out, but essentially right now they have a lock because they create an emotion that we can't get at home. So what do you think of that? What do you think of emotion? Where's that?
Well, that's the movie theater experience is synonymous with the sports theater, sports entertainment, right? Viewership in the NFL is down 60% in the last 3 years, but funny enough, the stands are still full. Why? We are social animals. We are social creatures by inclination, by design, and by biology. So if I want to watch something, and I want to watch something over here, and you want to watch something over there, odds are good at some point we're going to gravitate to it because we have a similar love, a similar like, a similar passion for things. We are by inclination going to gravitate towards it to share the experience as well. So in the moment we're going to do that. Movie theaters aren't going anywhere because it allows you and I and that guy and everybody else around here and everybody else to go and in one moment share together collectively what it is. And they've increased the entertainment value of that, so our grip on reality disappears. But our ability to engage emotionally for that storytelling factor comes in from the time you drive into the parking lot to when you walk in and you get your ticket, whether you buy it with your phone or you pick it up at the kiosk or go to the counter, then you stand in line for popcorn and a pop, and then you go sit down in the theater and everybody chatters, and then the previews come up, and then the movie starts, and there is this energy that you get inside the room that doesn't go away. So the theater experience won't die. Blockbuster was stale. It was stale. You walked in and we were all in these little pockets and we were looking for things, and then it became scarcity. So Blockbuster lost because I walk in and you've got the last copy of a movie and now I hate you.
Yeah.
But if you and I go to a movie theater, we're sitting next to each other and it is the latest Star Wars movie coming out before they butchered the franchise. I believe that. And anyway, so
I don't believe that. I like these new ones, so
we'll beg to differ on that. But we go to the theater and we stand in line, and I remember standing in line for Phantom Menace at West Edmonton Mall. Okay.
Yeah.
The day and a half that I spent with, I don't know, 3 of my friends taking shifts who would be in line, and the hundreds of other people that were there, is a unifying experience. It is a thing that we're all there with a common purpose. The movie theater, the sports theater, cinema, going to the ballet is a shared human experience. And so if we can continue to engender that, then movie theaters and the sports entertainment dollar is not going to disappear. We're not going to stop going to hockey games or to football games or to the theater or to a movie theater as well, simply because I get to do it together with a common purpose. And that is the magic of the right kind of storytelling, is that in your home and in my home, we can get that shared experience, and we see that now with things like watch parties.
Yeah.
So you can be in your living room or my living room, and yet we can still share the experience of doing that. So that's why video still stays on top as king, and that's why movie theaters are so good.
Okay, well, let's talk then about the intertwining of technology and those experiences. So let's talk about esports now. I research esports now. I'm trying to get into it and get kind of fluent with it because I think it's going to be big. I think esports is going to take off. It tells a story. It allows people to be. It intertwines that technology. Yeah. It's going to be big. I think 1 or 2 of these leagues is going to take off, and we're going to be watching esports on pay-per-view, or we're going to be watching on a channel in no time. Even through Twitch, we're just going to be watching it through Twitch, and we're going to make that happen. So, give me your your take on esports. Can esports become as big as our NFL, as our NHL of sports?
It's either Sports Illustrated or it's ESPN's still print magazine right now. This month's cover photo is of an esports athlete as the most influential athlete in sports. We'll go back to that movie theater experience and to the home entertainment experience or to watch parties. This is no different.
Yeah.
We sit at home engrossed and engendered in the story that's attached to whatever this person is doing. And the narration and the narrative that they put into games anyway is woven in such a way that that story is already compelling. So I can either partake and participate online, which means you and I and everybody else here can all play together.
Yeah.
We can play cooperatively. We can play competitively against each other. Or we can enjoy watching somebody that's good at something that we're passionate about. You know, we're in Alberta, which means we're in Canada, which means we're primarily a hockey nation. You know, we have other sports, we're a hockey nation. So some of us may have played at some point in our childhood or not, but we all touch on pro hockey for a moment because that's a thing that we've connected with at some point in our life. And while we can certainly not play the way these athletes do, that same thing applies to esports. So our shared experience, our ability for theater and storytelling and that connectivity is there just in a brand new environment. So esports is not going to go anywhere.
And it's universal too, because a lot of, like, we've all grown, younger generations grown up with video games. Mm-hmm. So let me take another example of this. Let's take golf and curling, right? So I've curled a couple times, I golf a lot, and people will watch golf or curling on TV and they'll be saying it's like watching paint dry, super boring, right? They take it to that level. But the thing is, when I watch golf, when I watch curling, it's exciting. Like, because you can envision yourself doing that shot. You can slide out of the hack, or you can go and hit that drive right down the middle, or make that 50-foot putt, and it's exciting. Yeah. So I can engage with it. This younger generation that's grown up with video games is going to watch video games getting played on TV through esports, getting played in a stadium, and they're going to feel themselves playing that game. They're going to be able to, and it's going to engage their emotion. It's going to allow them to tell a story, and it's going to solve a lot of problems.
I can pull the device out, and I can go to Twitch, I can go to Snapchat, or I can go to YouTube, and I can watch somebody right now playing a game that I'm hooked on, that I can, and nearly anything. Yeah. It can be an iOS game. It can be something off of Google Play. It can be on whatever your platform is, PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, whatever it is. It can be on any of these platforms, and I can go find that right now and go, there's a person that loves something the same way I do, and to listen to their commentary and their feedback, and if they're even marginally entertaining, never mind the compelling story that I already know by heart.
Yeah.
I can engage, I can escape, I can connect with that person. And so esports is just the extension of where this takes us now, in that one, anybody can play. Two, everybody has a venue and feedback. I can take this, put a tripod on this thing right now, and we can start doing our thing, right? But three, when you get to that level, there is everybody that played hockey one time when they were 12 years old as a kid, and then there's pro athletes. Well, there's all of us that play recreationally at home in our living room to blow off steam for an hour of our night, and then there's the guys that make millions of dollars a year doing this. We've created the new athlete.
I think, and it's already there. Like, it's the purse is already there, the money's already there. Yeah. It's sitting behind it, and it's just going to keep growing. Now, here's another one. People always ask me what the next platform is. Twitch is going crazy. So when I first got told about Twitch, I went and I researched it, looked it up a little bit, saw that people were basically live streaming every single video game. They've taken it way further. It's going to the next level. Anyone that doesn't think Twitch is good, we're trying to figure out how to make a Twitch Magnolia's channel or a Twitch JV channel, let alone. So we're trying to figure that out. We got the game room. We want to figure out a way to do it because I think there's a lot of attention to be had there. What do you think? I mean, you mentioned it once, so.
It's planning content or spontaneity, right? Compelling story either has a narrative. In other words, what is going to be the end goal of what I'm talking about? Yeah. Lord of the Rings is incredibly long. Game of Thrones is incredibly long. Star Wars books are incredibly short, but the compelling narrative is incredibly long. And just so we're clear, you and I are on the same page for our love of Star Wars.
Love it. Yeah, we're on the same page there.
On what the new series has done, but we absolutely believe in, the house that Luke and Leia built is good. It's good in my books.
Yeah.
Twitch means that we can tell that story. We can either do it for a reason or we can do it just because it's fun and entertaining and a way to blow off steam. If you're going to engage that platform, so let's talk about Twitch, let's talk about Musical.ly, let's talk about some of these other platforms. Now let's talk about a platform that has a lot of followers, but it's been stagnant for a while, like Twitter, for example. Yeah. If you're going to engage, then it bears to understand what that market is looking for, and then find a way just to convey a little bit differently what your business is in relation to that, right? And I'm going to go to Gary Vee in his latest book, Crushing It, where he tells a story about a dental practice that is spending an awful lot of time advertising on Musical.ly because the head dentist is singing a little bit off-key and off-color, made-up parodies of songs to do with dentistry instead, appealing to 8 and 10 and 12 and 14-year-old kids instead. They're like, Mom, we got to go to this dentist because the dentist is awesome, right? They keep lip-syncing funny songs that has to do with dental work for popular music instead. So
they found attention. Like they got on Musical.ly, they found attention, and that attention translated into people connecting with that brand.
Yeah.
And it's no different than when I talk about touch points and creating these cycles and trying to get out there as much as possible. If you can create attention, doesn't matter if it's on Twitch, Musical.ly, I mean, anywhere, even Twitter now, if you can find the attention and hashtag appropriately and get out there, you're going to be able to translate that into your brand.
So let's talk about your business. So the business coach is going to talk about his business for a moment, right? We're going to really get into it. And no, they're doing fine. They'll do okay. Although maybe they'll hire me. Who knows? Anyway, I'll slide that one in on the camera, right?
Let's
edit that out. We'll get that right in there. Maybe they'll hire me later, and then we'll see what happens. Anyway,
all right. Tell me,
Twitch for your business.
Yeah.
There's 2 points of engagement you're going to want. Okay. How Twitch makes sense for people that are passive with audience. In other words, how to monetize it.
Yeah.
The faster you can find out a way to monetize Twitch, and you can impart that in the form of a lesson inside the Twitch environment itself, the more audience you're going to correct. The other one is going to be teach these people an endless series of how-tos. Here is 15 or 30 seconds on how to capture more audience. I'm playing a game, and while I'm playing a game, I'm going to tell you the 3-step process to make sure that your Twitch videos are going to snap attention right now, or it's going to get the right kind of audience.
Value. We're like, if you can give pure value in your content, you win.
Yeah.
Right? You sell in any way. You try to monetize it in that video in any way, you're done.
So I
believe.
I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go, listen, I'm the dude from Magnolias, and we're a marketing company. Okay, there we go. We got the who, what out of the way, right? And man, I love this platform. I love playing video games. I love engaging with people and stuff like that. So if you're watching right now, I love you guys to pieces. Thanks for watching. A marketing dude that's a little ham-fisted, playing video games, right? So there's an interest piece, right?
Yeah.
Engagement. But when I was thinking about Twitch a little bit, and I'm on here right now practicing what I preach, here's a couple of things to bear in mind. If you're going to take Twitch seriously and you want to be an e-gamer, you got any other platform or whatever it is you're thinking of using, and Twitch is going to be the way you convey information, whether you want to get paid or not, here's some things to bear in mind. So here's the 3 steps you got. Oh crap, I just died.
Yeah.
I hate that, right? So that's going to suck for the next hour of my life while I catch back up, kind of thing. And so here's the 3-step program. And man, you want at any point in time, just message me, ping me, come and find me on Instagram, and go ahead and ask questions. Happy to answer them, right? Something as simple and innocuous as that, as off-key and off-color as that, is going to be a methodology for delivery for a marketing company, a content company that does video, to go online to Twitch and go, guys, if this is what you're into, here you go. Here's the 3-step process. Here's the 4 things you have to remember. Here's the best time for you to be on Twitch. If you're going to get on Twitch and you just want people to watch you playing video games, never mind actually get paid for doing it, make sure you're on between this and this window, period.
We're on the same page. So when we make our Twitch account, we're going to have to thank Mitch for that as we go and create that content. So the other thing we're on the same page for is Twitter. Twitter's stagnant. I have my opinion of Twitter, but I want to hear yours first, because I think Twitter's in trouble. They can save it, but they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to make it.
Twitter is such a massive platform. My first foray into social media, and this is going back 7 years, was Twitter. And I built a significantly sized following of a whole 900 people.
Yeah.
People are going, 900 people, that's nothing on there, right? Twitter is a news conveying agency.
It's news.
Unless I have something really important to tell you right now about myself, and I find it faster to transact through Instagram to do it, or Snapchat if I'm under 25 and under, let's say 30 or under, I'm not going to go to Twitter. I will not go to Twitter. And so we get stagnancy inside of that there. My news feed stays largely homogenous no matter who I trade in and out from my own follower pool. I seem to see the same crap anyways, right?
Yeah.
That's a problem. My stuff, I've been purposely trying to elevate my content the last little while, but I was selective in the audience that I wanted to build on Twitter. So if I don't talk a certain way to them, or you don't understand what your audience is, Twitter is the most complicated audience to understand out of all of it. Because you can get, yes, Instagram, you can collect people from everywhere, but they're still interested in the pretty first. If the video is good, if the pictures are cool, if it is enriching or engaging, whether it speaks to me from a professional, personal standpoint, I will pop in. That's the magic of visual.
Totally.
Twitter, you have to work a little. You got to hustle a little for your dollars, right?
Well, you got to hustle on every platform, but Twitter, you got to hustle more.
Yes. Yeah. It is the end of the month and rent's due, okay? And that's what Twitter is you got to work at it all the time. And if you don't know, or your audience isn't specific, and again, I'll go back to my audience. I was really specific on the way I wanted to tailor it, and I call out followers of mine all the time, and I got a very narrow window.
Yeah.
If I talk to them in that language, I get what I want out of Twitter, which is engagement and the potential for clientele and to convey information, do those other things. Otherwise, it's just a dumping ground. It's just a place for stuff to go, and it either dies or it collects a little bit of love.
Yeah, it goes to the Neverland.
They just spend at least a couple of minutes kind of scrolling through.
Yeah, they get that subconscious touch point again. They see it, and then they translate that. If they care about it, then they keep going. Listen, Twitter, you hit it on the nose. Twitter is a news platform. And there are certain industries that still rely on it. There's the news agencies. We can look at industries like finance and crypto where they want to get the information as fast as possible, and they don't necessarily get that through the other platforms.
Yeah.
So Twitter gives you that ability. But for the everyday user, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, they all provide a different niche that gives them more valuable content than Twitter can at this time.
But I'm in and out of Twitter in minutes or seconds. I'm looking for something real quick. Did something happen? Did a big world event happen? A sports team won or lost, something like that. I can go and get my fix right now, find out what's going on, follow, track in line. And in fact, if you're a fight fan, you can get real time off the floor of a UFC event faster than you could with whatever the broadcast delay is. 7-15 seconds, you'll know who won. 7 seconds faster. Or you're like, oh crap!
Yeah.
And then you watch the guy get choked out. You're like, oh, okay, that was good. Bob's gonna lose, and then Bob lost. Wow.
Yeah, it's just you can impress your friends. Yeah. I mean, Twitter. What I think Twitter still caters to is they allow that transparent, open conversation where Facebook, everywhere else, sure, we can hide comments, we can delete them, we can filter a little bit. Twitter, it's a lot harder. It's an open conversation that's available to everybody.
Yeah.
And they're gonna play against that, right? Yeah. They're gonna continue to go after that. So let's take another direction. Business consultant, you've been working with businesses for a while. Give me some of the most common issues you see and maybe a couple of those fixes. Take us through a little bit more.
Yeah. 3 biggest issues, and they're universal. Cash flow. Cash, not finances, not accounting. And
so do you say cash is king? Are you one of those?
Cash is king.
Okay.
Cash is 100% king. If you have cash or you don't have cash in your business, then you're going to get hurt. If you have cash in your business, you're going to be okay. If we track our finances, and only our finances, our bookkeeping and accounting cycle, we get to the end of the year, and our accountant goes, congratulations, you've done really well. Unless you're in an immediate pay transaction business. And we take construction as one of the worst culprits. And no, I'm not bashing construction. I work with a lot of construction companies. You can be terribly behind with your AR and with other functions going on in your business, or bills catching up, or long-term AP haunting you and stuff like that. And your cash can evaporate in a hurry. But from a financial perspective, your business can be really healthy. If I track and hold on to cash, if I know how much cash I've got today and what's coming tomorrow and then what I have to pay, long-term, being able to hold on to that cash will have a positive correlation to my profitability. But my direct profitability is not necessarily going to equate to my cash. So if I don't watch my cash, I'm going to get hurt in a hurry. And a lot of businesses early on suffer from cash crunches. And there's certain
risk. If you don't have the cash, there's a risk involved every single time, right? So you're there's a risk both. I mean, for being an entrepreneur, there's a risk from the standpoint of the business. There's also from the emotion.
Yeah.
Right. You're losing a little sleep at night. You're getting to the point in time where you have to watch that. So it's personal health. It's business. It's everything combined.
Yeah. So I'm taking a long time to talk about just cash, but there's 3. Okay. Cash is king. If I've got cash, I can make good decisions. If I don't have cash, I'm always scrambling trying to play catch up.
Yep.
People, capital, and business. Finding and caring and feeding of the animals in the zoo, right? If it's me, myself, and I'm the only person in my zoo, if I'm not taking good care of my only employee, my business is going to suffer. If I bring other employees in, but I never bother to take the time to learn how to actively find and fit someone to the business that's a fit to the business, not, I like this guy and I think he'll be okay. That long-term always spells problems for business.
Listen, I absolutely love that one. I got the quote behind you there. It's a Richard Branson paraphrase, but employees come first, then your customers will be taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
Right? If your employees are taken care of and you're taking care of your team, the rest is easy.
Yep. And then sales. Business development and marketing. Marketing long-term keeps a business in business, but sales has you in business right now. Yeah. Well, that's pretty broad.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Hello, incoming. if we don't manage our cash, if we can't find somebody really good to help us as the business gets bigger, and if we can't find the next person, we get busy. We're busy at the business of being busy. And then inevitably, when we start to get a downturn, now we're scrambling to find more business. We're scrambling to find more business. It's putting a lot of stress. It's damaging our cash flow. It's putting undue pressure inside of our employee count. These are the three biggest symptoms. If those three symptoms are dealt with or at least managed effectively inside of a business, businesses can sustain themselves indefinitely. If they are not managed appropriately, so our business development, our marketing, our cash flow management, if we spend a little bit of time organizing our business, planning, and if we got a benchmark somewhere, a strategic plan, just saying this is where we're at and this is where we're supposed to go to, those are the hallmarks for how businesses stay in business indefinitely. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. It usually means you're not going to lose, but it means your business can run and go tick, 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 and keep going on day to day to day. And from there, then you can make some better informed decisions on what's going to succeed.
All right, so take your third one, the sales, a little further. So let's say, you do sales all this time, you keep scrambling for more sales, you're in this cycle where you're just finding sales.
Yeah.
We always go and then say, you got to brand. You got to get ahead of the branding curve so that down the road, you're not always out there trying to get as many sales as possible. Those sales are finding you.
Yeah.
So then, is branding a sub portion of that, or are you just going 1, 2, 3 branding afterwards? Where do you take that?
Sales is when I talk to you about all the cool stuff I do.
Okay.
Marketing is when my business tells you all the cool stuff I do when I'm not in the room. Brand is when you come back to me and say, I understand you do some pretty cool things. Right?
Agreed.
They're interconnected. They're intertwined. Early on, our brand is usually us. Mitch, you're good at this. Jared, you're good at that.
That's why personal brands are taking off.
Yep.
But yeah, I totally get it.
And that is to not be conscientious about the care and feeding of your brand early in a business is tantamount to business suicide. That said, if you can't sell effectively, in other words, my offering meets or exceeds what the competition is doing in the marketplace, and therefore I can be attractive, then you have something to address. If your business,
you need both. There's no dispute about that.
Yeah. And so I need to be able to talk to you, whatever form or fashion, to tell you about all the cool stuff I do, and in some form or fashion convey to you that either I can help you or that what I've got is better than the competition. So to be conscientious about brand early on is essential for a business. If you don't, and you just kind of make it up as you go along, I don't know, we're good at cabinets. No. Are we good at cabinets, or am I a great person to work with? It just so happens that we make cabinets. You being a really good person to work with, and we just happen to make cabinets, is far more valuable to your business than we're known for being really good for making cabinets. If you trust me enough to go, Mitch, I don't even need cabinets, but I know you're a really great guy. Help me out. I need somebody that does floors.
Yeah.
You're going to call me, even though I don't do floors.
Yeah, and you're going to refer it out, and you're going to provide a ton of value to them.
Yeah.
And in the end, they're going to come back to you when they need cabinets.
Yep.
And that's marketing, and I love that. When I see that happen, when I see all the touch points you create from branding to marketing to advertising all the way down to when you're going and networking and going face to face.
Yeah.
When it all translates and comes full circle and you start having people seeking you out.
Yeah.
That's where it all comes, and it's amazing.
It just ties itself right into there, and that's at the end of the day the lifeblood of business.
Yeah.
If I can't we're sitting in this room today just because of perceived value.
100%.
We met each other. We had a chance to talk. We watched each other work a little bit. It's like, okay, let's sit down and talk. Let's share a little more amongst each other. Hey, well, we're shooting this. We've been in a room together with each other for maybe 2 hours.
Max. We met 2 times. Maybe
Yeah.
we've talked a couple times. We saw that this discussion would make sense, and then we come and execute it. Like we don't know each other well, Mitch, and that's the amazing thing. I think when you can do some of that and network and put people together. It can cascade really quickly.
Yeah.
And it can translate right to your bottom line very quickly. You just have to execute it. All right, tell me about your quote. You're the first guy that's come on the podcast that's brought his own quote. So we got it on the board back there.
This guy
is the first guy with his own quote on the wall of inspiration. Take me through it.
That one's right over. If you are not using the talents you were born with, you are seriously wasting your opportunity to get ahead in the world. If you are born with it, it is a sacred duty to maximize it and give it out to the world. I've been told by respected mentors in the past, and this is something that's stuck with me for years now, that if you aren't maximizing yourself, you're being incredibly selfish. right? You're being incredibly selfish because you're keeping something that could have an impact and change the world, or heck, even just entertain it.
Yeah.
And if it's something truly profound, truly extraordinary, then it is a duty. It is a sworn duty. It is as close to a sacred oath as you're going to take that and give it to the world. If you don't, shame on you. You must take what you were born with and give as much of it as you can out to the world. If it recognizes the value in that there, all the power to you.
Done. Mitch, thank you, sir, for coming out.
You got it, brother.
Love this.
Come here.
And this was good.
Yeah.
Big hug.
Guys,
Love this.
Love it.